is the Midtown Phillips Neighborhood Association's annual meeting. Let me just tell you a little bit about Midtown Phillips Neighborhood Association. The association meets monthly on the fourth Tuesday of the month, and we meet at various venues throughout the neighborhood, and we discuss important issues going on in the neighborhood. Things like community access to the parks, community access to the new swimming pools that are being opened in the aquatic center. Those are the types of issues that we talk about at the meetings, and those meetings are open to everyone, so everyone is welcome. Midtown Phillips does 3 major events every year. This is one of them, the annual meeting, where we invite everyone from the neighborhood to come to a free meal and to participate in our annual meeting. The second one is our annual festival, and in the last couple of years we have partnered with Open Streets, and we have done our festival on Open Streets on Lake Street, and that takes place in July. And again, everyone's welcome to come to that. It's always a fun thing. And then the third major event that we do every year is Clean Sweep. So the 4 Phillips neighborhoods get together and just clean up the neighborhood. And that always takes place in October. Last year in October, we had over 700 volunteers that participated in our Clean Sweep. Midtown Phillips is always concerned about public safety, and we have a great relationship with our police department, with our Inspector Sullivan, and with the cops on the Franklin beat and the Lake Street beat, who are becoming friends of ours and are becoming acquainted with neighbors and the businesses in Midtown. So I would ask Peter McLaughlin to come up and say a few words. Peter is, of course, our county commissioner.
Thank you, Pete, and thank you for all your good work over many, many years. Thank you to everybody who's here tonight, particularly the people who volunteered to be on the board. Donna, thank you. You know, these things don't happen by accident. You know, think about this building. It's not an accident that this building is here. It took the community, it took Alina, it took a lot of partners, the city and the county working together to make this happen. And we need to continue to do that. The Midtown Greenway didn't happen by accident. And so that's what we really need to do. And I think we need to pause a little tonight and think back to somebody who lived in Phillips when it was all together. Annie Young, who was a great voice for this community. And we ought to pause and just think about Annie. And I think applause is better than a moment of silence. She would like that because she was a fighter and she took this neighborhood forward. So I think it's just great to think about her. She's an inspiration that we ought to keep in mind as we move forward. So I'm just happy to be here tonight. I appreciate all the work that people have done.
I'd also like to call up Inspector Sullivan.
Hello, I'm Inspector Michael Sullivan from the 3rd Precinct, and I'm the new old guy. I was the inspector here for about 3 years, but the last year and a half I was downtown. So Chief Rondo asked me to come back, and I couldn't be more pleased to have said yes. And it's an honor to be back at the 3rd Precinct. I was just talking with Sonny about the difference in community policing and how it is so important here in what we call the Greater Phillips and Ventura Village neighborhoods. You have West Phillips, Midtown Phillips, East Phillips, Ventura Village, and all of the wonderful communities south of Lake Street. And then very quickly I wanted to talk about crime and public safety issues. In 2017, the precinct did a very good job in reducing the number of robberies, which was a significant step in the right place towards decreasing violent crime. With that said, I've also talked with a few people in the neighborhoods here with concerns about different corners, about prostituted women, about opioid epidemic and drug dealing going on. So, you know, our violent crime has decreased, but we still have some serious issues to deal with. What I'm looking forward to coming back as the precinct inspector here is to be able to work with community, work with neighbors, and work with the business community here in the 3rd precinct, and working together towards resolving these public safety issues. And I know that there's a passion here. If you look around to this Midtown community event, and it's one of the coolest events I've ever been to. Here we are in the global market, and you can't think of a more eclectic neighborhood. And you should be very proud of yourselves for the amount of participation you have with this community. And I just want you to know that as the inspector, I appreciate the support, and I look forward to working with all of you, along with the other officers at the precinct. So thank you very much.
Park Board member from our district is AK Hassan, and AK is going to say a few words. And AK is a resident and board president over in Ventura Village.
Thank you, Peter, and thanks to the organizers. I know how it feels. The work that you guys are doing is this is where the real change happens, the neighborhood. And thank you all so much for coming out. And please tell your neighbors, your friends to support each other and to come out. This kind of neighborhood meetings. This is where I started my political career. And now being the Park Board Commission District 3. The food was great. I hope you guys had a chance. There's still food out here. Have a chance. But just yesterday, I don't know if you guys are aware what's happening around the country. And the kids have been shooting, all the shootings that are happening, we're losing kids, the future of our dog, in our country, the future of our states. And I want each and every one of you to take a moment of silence to remember all those kids that have lost their lives. I know it's hard, but one thing that I will not stop is to continue and be an advocate for our kids. Not just in the park level, but anywhere. Whatever I can do, just right now, me and Hodan Hassan, who's a candidate for state rep, who just got back from the state capital for Raleigh, to remember those kids and to protect our kids in the state of Minnesota and here. And just yesterday at the Park Board meeting, we passed a memorial for sexual assault, people who are going through sexual violence. And I'll invite all of you to the Park Board meetings and to attend where the decision makers are happening. And I'm honored to be the chair of Ventura Village neighborhood and to represent in this district. We're such a diverse, it's an honor. And this moment, I also want to thank all of you. I see familiar faces that's sitting here. Thank you. I'll make sure, every time I sit there, I think about you guys, and I think about the future of our state and the future of our city. And I can't do this alone. I'm asking each and every one of you to come out and to support and to let me know if there's anything that I can be helpful. And that's why I'm here today, not just in this neighborhood, Midtown, but also neighborhood around, the state and in our city and in District 3. Thank you all so much. Keep up the great work, and whatever I can be helpful, I'll be there for you guys. Thank you.